Okay, g'day guys, Andrew White here. Look, joist spacing. I've been asked the question, how could I demo joist spacing? So what I've done is I've got the image that I was given, and I've just dragged and dropped it straight into SketchUp there. And the first thing I need to do is quickly just get it to scale. And I can see that I have a 2 feet spacing from here to here, 2 feet. Now I'm working in the imperial version. Sorry, I'm working in metric version, and this is an imperial job. You can still write in, if you are using metric and you get a imperial plan, you can still write in and feed in inches or whatever you like. However, let's get this job done. Right, so you can see that I have joists here at different spacings, which is unusual because technically when they go to lay their flooring, their flooring, unless it's been worked out to suit flooring these joists, the flooring won't work it. So if it's an 8x3 sheet, you would think that it would work out 2 feet spacing. However, we have different spacings on this one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this a couple of ways, and I might make a mistake as I do it because I'm not an imperial guy. However, let's go from here down to here, and basically all I'm doing is a rectangle that's just going to go line up with that last joist there. If I had dimensions, I would write it in, obviously exact. And you can see we have a little alcove here. And there's a couple of different ways and a couple of different things I'm going to show you about joist spacings and how to go about different joist spacings. Okay, first things first, the first one I'm just going to quickly go in and throw all the joists in at 600 centers, which is 2 feet, sorry. And so I'm just going to go to my joist tool and open it up, and these are just below face. Do I want to include a floor or not? I'm going to go above face, obviously deselecting is above face. Choose the type of joist you want to do. I'm just going to use I-joist in this particular option. I'm going to write in my spacing at 2 feet. Right, it's going to search that, and I can choose my joist size, whatever it might be. They look to be 2-inch joists actually, so I'm just going to quickly go back down and say, if you're using the imperial version, you're not going to get the metric obviously, but there. Don't worry about bearers, because bearers go underneath the timber to hold it up. I think they call them something else in America. And I'm just going to go submit, and I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to choose my joist direction. This is one way, okay? Now you might want to specify that your joist spacing starts from left to right instead of right to left. Let's have a look at what happened. Okay, it automatically just did, and this is what you would do at feasibility study stage. Is that, we don't know where the joist spacing are. Engineer hasn't got involved. We'll just go and put in our joists according to what the standard spacing would be in your area. Okay, and what Plusspec has done from right to left, the very first joist spacing, it changed it actually. It actually went in and did half the thickness of the joist to the center, because when you put a flooring on an 8x4 sheet, if it was 8 foot from here to here, the floor would actually miss the joist. So we've gone half the distance of the joist when we set that out. And now, as you can see, it's actually reasonably close. However, if I wanted to get accurate here, I can move all of these joists in one go. All I need to do is I've just pushed my space bar, selected, and said, okay, well, you know what? Oops, I've clicked on the wrong thing. Go to here. Right. Okay. And I can move all of my joists in one go if I want to. So I can go in here and go Control A, and I can just deselect this one here, and I can move all of them over to the first spacing if I wanted to, which is 1 foot 11. Or I could do a tape measure line from here. 1 foot 11 inches. What's that? That'd be 12 inches, 13 inches. 13 inches. Right, 1 foot. Oh, sorry. It's going to be 23 inches. 23 inches. Enter. Okay, and I can move all of these over to that first spacing. And now I have a 2 foot spacing here, and you can see that's actually lining up quite well. However, we have a double joist here, so that means that basically what I want to do is I want to grab this joist, and I just want to move it over so I have a double there. And this one here, it does tell me what the distance is up here somewhere. It looks to be 1 foot 2, whatever that is, 5/16. Regardless, I can do exactly the same thing as I did with my tape measure line and move that over. Or I could just go off the drawing and trust that the scale is correct, and I can move that joist to suit what the spacing is drawn on there. You can type in the distance. If you notice in the bottom down here that we can type in any distance we want to. Okay. You can see that I need a double joist here. Move. I'm pushing M as a shortcut, which is also this one here, which is move. Right. And go control. Click my left button and let go of control. And it put that in there. It looks like there's another joist here. Okay. That's one way to do it. And that's sort of a quick and easy way to do it. You see I need to move these here. Same thing. It looks like this one, this one, this one, and this one are all going to move over to here. If I had more dimensions, I would move it to suit that, or if I knew what those spacings need to be, I would do it that way. This one here needs to be shorter. You can see that there's a wall there or something like that. If I actually go and break inside of my joist, I can push and pull, or I can move the end of this. But you'll see this joist and this joist and that joist and that joist is the same. So I'd actually need to make it unique first. So I'd click it, right click, make unique, and then I could go inside of it, and it won't affect the rest of them. It's kind of a time-saving thing if you ever make a mistake to have it both ways. Right, and then if I did a bill of quantities on that there and said do a takeoff, first I have to put in a job address. Should have done this first. Anyway, you won't have to do this in the next version. We've already done this for you. Submit, and I'll do a takeoff. And I have 13 joists at 6.229 meters, one at whatever and one at whatever. Okay, so they now have my quantities. You can go and associate price with them if you want to. There is another way to do it, and I'm going to show you that way as well. Okay, so I haven't selected anything, or I haven't drawn a rectangle over top of this drawing here. I'm just going to go to my joist tool. This is a good way to deal with, it's a good way to deal with different joist spacings. So I might say that the first two joists, that would still be 2 foot in my eyes. And I can draw joists from left to right or right to left anywhere. So I might say, you know what, I'm going to draw these joists first. I'm going to start from here. And I'm going to go up to here. There it looks like. And I'm going to go to here. Okay. And it put my joist spacings in with different spacings. Let's have a look at that down here. Let's go and do it here, see. There. And I'm going to go this one this way. Okay, and I might go this one this way. And I'll go this one this way. You notice what's happening is that the first joist it's telling it where to start. That one was probably hard to see because I didn't get it right. Let's go to say here. You'll notice that the last spacing is just giving it. So basically what's happening is my first joist spacing is happening from here to here, and there with a double, and from here to here because I drew them one way and another way. So the first line, click, second line, click. It's telling my joist which way I want it to go. So the first click is my joist direction, and then it's either left or right, and that will determine where you start your spacings from. You try and always, well, most people try and always work their joist spacings to suit flooring. Okay, if I put flooring on top of those, you'll probably see why. Let's just grab this one here and I'll put some flooring on top of it. From a carpenter's perspective, when you get joists that don't work with your floorings, I'm just going to include a floor. And I might even change my joist spacing. That's at 450, that one, which is the standard spacing to suit flooring in Australia. However, I'm assuming that 2 feet works with our sheets. 2 feet, and I am using that. Submit, and I'm going to have my joist spacing goes this way. It reconfigured all my joists to suit my spacings. Okay, so therefore you can see that my flooring joined half on top of a joist, right? Because that will make the job work a lot faster. Right. Look, I hope that helps out, guys, with joist spacings and how to go about changing joist spacings. You can also just put one joist in if you wanted to, or I could just go and select this joist and say, well, I want this one joist here, and go Control X, right? And I can go over here and go Control V, paste, and I could do it manually if I wanted to. It's a slow way of doing it. However, you can do that as well. And it's estimating these as we go. Right. Okay, hope that helps. Cheers.